Now it just got weird.
No, because I like the little opening intros are always like, you know, improv. Airsoft, Table Talk, Cast 4, Clash of the Titans.
You know, for me, one thing that I really feel is lacking in our Milsim community is leadership.
Absolutely.
On the kind of CO level. I mean, honestly, I talk to a lot of these other people who are the COs, and they don't contact their platoon leaders ahead of time. They don't have video conferences, and this kind of stuff doesn't take a lot. You know, if you're going to have an op with 300 people, not to have a video conference with your top 8 guys, to me is just crazy. I mean, you have people who are coming expecting certain stuff, and you're just not providing that for them. And to me, that's one thing I really I'm really harsh on people who are stepping those CO roles. A lot of other people are like, well, I'm just glad they stepped up. I mean, you step up, you need to step up and accept that there's going to be a lot of work that goes into that. So that's my personal opinion. I think 90% of the airsoft problems come from having bad COs.
Or lack of leadership.
Lack of leadership.
Well, they may not be bad commanding officers or leaders. They just, for a lot of COs so far that I've seen, you know, to them it's the hobby. They're stepping into a role they might have been comfortable or used to, but they have no legitimate authority to impose upon the people under them, like they were accustomed to in, you know, if they were prior military. They can't tell someone to do something even in the planning stages. No, you're going to do this. Where's my report? You know, I wanted you guys to give me a, I can't, I've been out of it so long, I can't remember what they call it, but...
TPS?
Not a TPS, where they request, they want to report on equipment and arms, personnel. I can't remember what they call it. Oh, what?
TO&E.
TO&E, that's it. TO&E. Used to fill those out, you know, so if they don't have that, it's just like, oh, what's the point? You know, I'm just going to scream till I'm blue in the face or hound somebody who's like, you know, it's just a game, bro, you know, type of deal.
Freeze tag.
Well, I found that when you ask, you do it in the right way. You do it ahead of time. You don't try to organize everything on Friday. You contact everybody beforehand. Everybody kind of knows what's going on. That they will respond so much better than that than if you just get there and start barking orders and expect this out of them and expect that out of them. I mean, if you expect them to do anything, you're going to fail. I mean, that's just, you just try to get them moving in the same direction as best as you can beforehand. And
Cat-herding.
Cat-herding, yep. And it really is. I mean, everything is in the prep organization ahead of time, and it's not a lot. I mean, I think Rebel Yell, I spent probably 8 hours. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, it might be a lot, but I mean, if I'm going to be the CO, I mean, I didn't think 8 hours was a big deal. No. We had a video conference, and I had a couple of conversations with all my platoon leaders and my S2, and that was it.
Yep.
I did the same thing on CDF.
Yeah. And I didn't have, you know, the typical Milsim is how I didn't have anybody, I didn't know what command was doing. Nobody in my command that I know of didn't know what they were doing. I make a habit to walk around and ask, what's your objective, what's your mission? They all knew. Now, some of them complained because they said, well, we want to push. It's like, well, if I let you push, you're all going to die.
Yeah. I'll die.
And I understand that. I mean, and sometimes I just have to get over I really like to win, and so sometimes I have to get over that and make sure they're having fun. But
yeah, that's definitely important, and I can definitely respect that from a CO. You know, it's like I always like to take comfort in the thought that they still want me to have fun and not just throw myself into a wall of BBs and come back looking like I just sat on an anthill. So you were talking about the old guard, new guard changeover. So obviously you're trying to build this community,
right?
But here, I don't know if it's anywhere else. It's not even a new guard, old guard community. It's just the changeover rate in airsoft and Milsim it's staggering. There's nobody around long enough that wants to put up with it long enough to, cultivate a community. Communities rise and fall, die, and are forgotten, just like teams are.
Yeah, I mean it's hard. I was lucky. It was weird because the guys that I started playing with, they were real hard asses. And you pretty much got like one screw up, and after that it was just gone, which unfortunately that kind of probably drummed a lot of people out that could have been good. I was one of those guys that, I knew that I didn't know what I was doing, So instead of acting like I knew what I was doing, I just say, okay, what? You know,
Teach me.
Teach me,
Tell me,
exactly. You know,
what am I doing
if I
wrong?
did something wrong and they're like, man, you were an idiot. I'm like, okay. You know, and then I could take. I had a thick enough skin to take that kind of.
Right.
Now, man, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen, John. Oh, okay. Thanks, bro. You want to like tell me how to do it better next time?
Right.
And then they go, well, this is what you can do, and I'd learn, and I was respectful enough to these guys, you know, that they were teaching me, and it's not like that anymore. It seems to me. I mean, we're slowly. I mean, Greg's done a great job building these communities, especially in around Oklahoma. But I don't know, it's a little bit different than when I started playing about, I think, 6 or 7 years ago.
No, that's about when I got into it. I mean, I was part of a couple teams. Like once I went to my first national op, I was like hooked. I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We get to go all these cool places and not get in trouble. Awesome. So players are holding back the game. I can agree with that. I haven't really seen any faults. I mean, at Broken Home 2, I love being in the sandbox. Like when you guys said, you know what, we're not going to run around and make sure everything's okay. Take command. What happens, happens.
And like I said, building that framework where we try to push the onus more on Greg, the platoon leaders, the squad leaders, where it's like, if you're not in uniform or you're breaking this or that rule, it's go, hey man, let's take care of your guys.
You're only talking to like 6 or 8 people and not running down every offense.
We can't police that.
No.
I know, but if your squad and you notice your guy's not wearing the right eye pro, shooting a high cap or something like that.
Is that not normal?
That is really not normal.
Okay.
It's like the apocalypse.
Is that wind or?
I think it's someone's fixing something.
Wow.
Okay, we're going to take a little time out here.
Yeah, we're going to take a time out and figure out what that is.
What I worry about is Airsoft is going down the same road paintball went down.
I've had some of the same
Yeah,
conversations.
so you and me probably talked to Andy and